Cheers, everybody. Welcome back. This is the Good Bets, Good Times podcast, the podcast for the weekend warriors and the recreational DJs looking to level up their sports betting game and have a good damn time doing it. I am your host, Nate Tuttle of NT Sports, coming to you live from Columbus, Ohio. Thank you for tuning in. Go ahead, grab your favorite beverage, kick back, and let's talk some ball.
I love guys who like football. And guys who like football, they like me back, and I like them back.
As usual, we will recap the weekend in college football and NFL betting, the wins, the losses, the lessons learned along the way, and boy, what an interesting, chaotic weekend that it was. Thoughts and prayers to all of the Survivor contestants who had the Cardinals and Rams. That Cardinals game was one of the most wild finishes that I have seen in a very long time. Crazy, crazy game. Rams get upset on Thursday night to start the week. Oh, that's football, baby. Then, of course, we'll dive into this week's slate of games. Bets we have locked in so far. The games we're eyeing up, we're circling. The blacklist, games and teams that we are not absolutely touching under any circumstances. And, of course, last but not least, the showstopper, the main event, the best bet of the weekend. And before we dive in, hey, if you enjoy the show, if you've been hanging out, this is episode 18. Feel free to show us a little support, hit subscribe, drop a rating, a review, some feedback. Follow along on all the social media platforms at ntsports.bio. And then also you can follow along on the Action Network app where we post all of our plays. So everything we talk about on the podcast, we bet what we talk about today. We bet Sunday, Monday, Tuesday throughout the week. And then we also throw in some plays over the weekend. Might throw in a fun little parlay, some live bets every now and then. You never know what you're going to get depending on what mood I'm in over the weekend and how I'm feeling. So follow along. And let's recap the weekend. Let's get into it. Here we go.
The good, the bad, the what the fuck.
Results. College football. We went 2-3, minus 1.1 units. And we're still treading water, about break even on the year. Ready to make a run, though. I can feel it. We're coming on week 7 of college football. Really getting to know these teams, who they are. And I think we got some good spots coming up, like in the card this weekend as well. But we're hanging in there. Just need one good run here, and we're right where we want to be. NFL, same thing, 2-3, minus 1.4 units. Pretty much the same story. We're down just like 0.3 units on the year so far in NFL spreads and money lines. And NFL's tough. It's chaotic. You just never know what's going to happen week over week. We're just trying to put ourselves in the best possible position to come out of each weekend with a profit and just keep that going through the end of the season. But hey, we're heading into week number 6 in the NFL, I believe. Yep, week 6 in the NFL, week 7 in the college football. We got a lot of games left, a lot of betting to do. So right where we want to be. Made some mistakes this past weekend. Made some good bets that didn't come through for us, which happens. And name of the game is making more good bets than you do mistakes. And over time, if you're consistent and you're disciplined, you're going to come out on top. So a couple of instances we did not do that. But let's start with the good. Let's talk about what happened that was in our favor over the weekend. First of all, starting off on Thursday night, we did at very late in the evening on Thursday, we jumped on the 49ers plus 9 versus the Rams. And it was just a matter that this line got way too high. Early in the week, I think it opened at 3.5, 4.5 Rams. It shot all the way up. Finally, on Thursday, it peaked at 9, and we had this at just barely at 7.5, even with the adjustments with all the Niners injuries, and we just pulled the trigger on the 9, and the 49ers won outright. So it really wouldn't have mattered either way. No matter what number you get with the Niners, they won the game in overtime, and it was a hell of a game too. More good in the NFL. London, Sunday morning. We got the Vikings money line. Hate betting Carson Wentz, but this was Dylan Gabriel's first start. And this game went back and forth. Gabriel played a little better than expected. But end of the day, better team won the game. Felt pretty good about that one. Won by 4. Covered the spread over the -3.5 as well. College football, got a couple winners over the weekend. Cincinnati money line. And we've been high on the Cincinnati team all throughout the summer. And this spot caught our eye. We really only had this at Cincinnati as a 1.5 point favorite in this spot against Iowa State. And this line opened as Cincinnati as a dog, moved all the way over to them as a favorite. And anytime you see that, it's fishy. You gotta look into this. Even if you're not super into modeling or building your own projections, if you're more of a top-down bettor, look for these spots where these ranked teams are underdogs against unranked teams. It's telling you something. All right. And this line flipped pretty quick. Cincinnati dominated the game, kind of let Iowa State hang around at the end, made it a little uncomfortable, but still won the game by 8 points. So felt really good about that one. And then no doubter, Pitt. We said this was the spot for Pitt after back-to-back losses, blowing that game against Louisville with a 17-point lead. And they surprised us, threw in a true freshman quarterback to start this one against Boston College. And let's say he played pretty well because they blew out Boston College. We know the Pitt Panthers. We know the spots to buy, the spots to sell, and this was a buy spot on Pitt, -5.5. I think this went up to 6.5 or 7 before kickoff, so a little more CLV there. But that wraps up the good. Not much else good happened over the weekend. I mentioned we went 4 for 4 and 6. The bad, couple things. Starting off the week, Delaware money line on Friday nights. We love this bet. Delaware played so well. I can't say the quarterback's name, Miniucci, I believe that's what it is. They were gashing WKU most of the game. They just made so many mistakes in the second half, including a pick 6, which anytime you bet on a team and they throw a pick 6, that's not ideal. And then the following series, they drove the ball easily down the field, and Miniucci fumbles the ball going into the end zone. So nice little 14-point swing there. And they lost the game outright. Had a chance at the end and couldn't get it done. Made some bad calls in the last drive of the game. Could have went down and tied the game with a field goal, but we just got some overtime, got a little better luck, but it didn't happen for us. So Delaware, bad. UAB Army. UAB just didn't show up. Note to self, no matter what your numbers say, even at home, don't bet UAB against these service academies. This defense is not good. They could not stop Army. Kind of made it somewhat interesting. They kind of hung around, but Army pulled away. Bad bet. Got a good number, 7.5. Got below 7, but hey. Florida State, Miami, another one. This went down to 3.5 by kickoff. Got 2 points CLV here. And Miami's a juggernaut. They are. They dominated this game. Florida State had a chance in the fourth quarter for the back door, and this was not going to say it's definitely not a bad beat because Miami dominated this game. But Florida State chose to kick a field goal to put this game at, I think it was 7 or 8. Yeah, they got a field goal to put it down to 7 points instead of going for a touchdown just to take an onside kick. They didn't get it. Could have went for a touchdown and covered this 5.5 for us, but chose to play the smart route, try to get the ball back. And yeah, didn't get there at 5.5. And kudos to Miami going on the road. Big win against Florida State. And they're right up there at top 3 teams in the nation, Oregon, Ohio State, Miami. Those are the leaders in the clubhouse right now for the national championship. NFL, couple bad bets in the NFL. Starting with, and this is one I should have stayed away. Don't bet against the Lions and Dan Campbell when they're hot like they are right now, especially if it's a bad team. Bengals had a chance to backdoor this one. They threw a pick in the last drive to close it out, but another went against some of the lessons that I've always talked about. Get in front of momentum, and 2 things here. One, Bengals were terrible. Thought they could come home. Spread was really high, 10.5 points. I had this at, I think, 9. But anytime you have a backup quarterback like this coming in, you have a hot Lions team. Sometimes you undervalue these teams, and the numbers just don't catch up. And that goes back to my philosophy to just stay away from this momentum. And in this case, it went both ways. You have the Bengals falling off a cliff. I guess they still have more to fall. And the Lions and going in the opposite direction. I think a lot of folks have them as the number 1 team in the league right now in their power ratings. So yeah, bad decision, bad bet. Game I should have stayed away from the beginning. Seahawks money line. I guess I just can't bet against Baker Mayfield as a dog anymore. I mean, I've known this. He's burnt me a couple times this year and last year, but I still going back to the well. I like the Seahawks at home to get this done. Last but not least, the main event, the showstopper. The best bet of the week did not come through. Wasn't even close. The New York Jets +3 versus the Cowboys. And I had this projected as Jets a slight favorite. They actually moved to a favorite on Sunday. The Cowboys had injuries all over the offensive line, along with the CD Lamb injury that we know, and this defense that has not looked great all year. Loved this game, felt really good about this game. And the Jets just didn't show up. They're just a bad team. Once again, momentum. Overrating the Jets, underrating this Cowboys offense, who looks like a complete juggernaut right now. And and I mean, outside of Justin Fields and garbage time, this Jets offense could not do anything. Couldn't get stops. Cowboys moved the ball up and down the field the entire game. Wasn't even close. What the fuck, Jets? No more New York Jets. I don't know what we're going to do with this team, but it's a tough one to put your money on. This week, they're actually overseas in London against the Broncos, and definitely don't have the Jets in this one. And that's it, folks. Recap. So what do we have locked in so far? So it is a Tuesday when we're recording this, and so far only 4 bets on the card: 3 in college, 1 in NFL. So let's talk through these. What do we have locked in so far? We'll start with college football. First bet we made this week, Old Dominion at Marshall. This Old Dominion team has a clear path to the college football playoff. They've already upset Virginia Tech. They sit in 4-1 right now. Only loss coming the opening week by 13 at Indiana, and we know how good Indiana is right now. They've been blowing out teams. Beat Tech by double digits. Liberty, who's turning out to be a fairly bad team. Crushed Coastal last week. And now they got a road test against Marshall. Marshall, a team that's down, pretty much rebuilding their entire roster. And we got this game at Old Dominion -13.5 down in Huntington, West Virginia. We have this projected at 16. We got the 13.5. It's moved up. I think it opened around 12.5, 13, got all the way up. I think right now it's 14.5. I probably wouldn't bet this anything above 14. Maybe a flat 14. A decent juice, but I think this is one where we talked about momentum before, and I think ODU's a team that maybe the market still hasn't quite caught up to yet. It's close. It's getting there, but if you're going to give me under 2 touchdowns against this Marshall team, who one of the worst offenses in the country so far, and we know they're rebuilding. They lost their coach. Most of their team went down to Southern Miss, so they had to basically rebuild this entire roster. And an ODU team that is looking at a schedule. They got JMU next week, and they've got a path here. They got a path to the college football playoff, and I don't see this ODU team taking the foot off the gas anytime soon. Offense, defense. If there is one slight weakness, Marshall may be able to run the ball against this ODU front, but secondary stout. Colton Joseph, quarterback for ODU, has been one of the best in the country so far. And they got receivers, they got running backs, they have a dynamic offense. Give me the Monarchs here to keep it going and to beat Marshall by more than 2 touchdowns. Old Dominion -13.5. Next up in college football, we have USC. The Trojans have Michigan coming to town. Out to the Coliseum. We have number 15 ranked Michigan against USC. And hey, similar spot. We talked about it. This one stands out. Number 15 Michigan going on the road. They're underdogs. It's 2.5-point underdogs at the moment against USC. And we took the money line here. USC minus 120 on the money line. This line moved up from 1.5 to 2.5. That's where it's sitting right now. And this is a play on the spot. Couple things here. One, our projections have this at USC minus 3.5. And money line, good money line would be about 155, minus 155. So we got minus 120. Really liking the value here. And plus just the situational spot. We know how these Big Ten schools, and they travel out to USC, to UCLA, to these West Coast spots. Outside of Ohio State going to Washington, which is a different story. But we saw last week with Penn State. Michigan's got to go out to the Coliseum to play this USC team with very good offense. I don't think they can keep pace. We know the Michigan defense, but it does have to travel out to the West Coast. This is a night game, at least for Michigan, so that is a little bit in their favor. But I'll take the home team, the Trojans. Take Lincoln Riley. I'll take Jordan Mayava. USC with one of the best offenses so far in the country. Michigan defense is stout, as we know. But don't trust Bryce Underwood on the road. And I don't trust this Michigan defense to keep up with USC out in Los Angeles. So locked in USC money line minus 120. I like this. I mean, the 2.5, I mean, I have this at minus 3.8. So, I mean, the spread at this point, still sitting pretty solid. Anything under a field goal, I would like USC here, or a good money line up to minus 155. Next up, a game we bet in the look ahead last week, or couple weeks ago, actually. We bet this a while ago. One of the game of the year lines, mid-September, when after the Oklahoma win against, I think it was the Michigan game. And we got Oklahoma at plus 4.5. And then, of course, 2 weeks later, Mateer gets hurt. But hey, this game is still sitting at 2.5 right now. So it still has moved down. As where we stand today, we don't know if John Mateer is playing in this game. It's unlikely. But I said this a few weeks ago. Are we sure that Michael Hawkins isn't just as good, if not better, than Arch at this point? This is a neutral site game as well at the Cotton Bowl, Red River Shootout. But this is just a play against Arch Manning going up against this Oklahoma Brett Venables defense. I mean, that's simply it. If Mateer was playing this game, Oklahoma would most likely flip to a favorite, especially if he was healthy, not coming off an injury. At this point, I don't know if we need to rush him back. I think they can win this game without him. But if he can throw a football, I think Mateer is going to be in this game. So we will see. But love this spot for Oklahoma on a neutral site against our rival Texas. We were high on Oklahoma all off season, all of our season previews. Got futures on Oklahoma, got futures on Mateer winning the Heisman. If he can make it back the next week or two and makes a run at the SEC championship game, gets his team to the playoff, I think he's going to be right there in the thick of things. We love this defense. I love their ability to move the ball. And I don't know how you can trust Arch in Texas at this point. Give us Oklahoma. As it stands right now, 2.5. I mean, I think they win this game outright. It's up to you. I would love to get this above 3 unless Mateer plays. And I imagine this game will flip to Oklahoma as a favorite. I mean, we have this projected right now as it stands. Oklahoma minus 1.5. Still some value at the 2.5 there. I don't know if you would want to wait on this one. If you like the Oklahoma side, I don't think there's any more threes out there. You're probably going to want to jump on and shit, as I look at this is down to plus 1.5, plus 1. Yeah. So even with the rumors that Mateer might come back, this line is still moving, still getting hit on the Oklahoma side. I think at this point it's a coin flip. I don't know. I would probably stay away. We're gonna ride at plus 4.5 in our look ahead spot at minus 115. But regardless of who the quarterback is on the Oklahoma side, this is an Oklahoma defensive game. They're gonna give Arch fits. Bulls is going to come after him, and Oklahoma's winning this game outright. Boomer Sooner. Let's talk about some games that we're eyeing up that we haven't bet yet. It still is early in the week. It's only Tuesday. So there's a handful of spots here. And we can start on... And folks, we have Wednesday football this week. FYI. Wednesday night, we had Liberty heading to El Paso to play UTEP, 2.5-point favorites. We have Missouri State at Middle Tennessee State. Some ugly, disgusting games. And I'll tell you where I'm leaning. I'm not going to bet either one of these games, to be honest with you. But I do see some value on UTEP here. I have them as a slight favorite, and they're sitting at 2.5-point dogs. So sort of like that, but just don't trust this UTEP team. And Liberty, I don't trust Liberty either, but at the same time, like, are they really as bad as they played? I mean, this is a team that had playoff hope. They had a chance to, everyone talked about them going undefeated, possibly making the college football playoff, and now they're sitting at, 1-4, just looking awful. But, stay away here. Missouri State, Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee is a team that we already have a future on. We bet their win total over 4.5. And so we're just going to root for an upside here for Middle Tennessee. We need some more wins. We need 3 more wins here on this team. So let's hope they can pull an upset. They're dog against a new FBS team in Missouri State. It's not great, but hey, I have this line at 2. We lean Middle Tennessee State. But one weekday game that we have been eyeing up, and I know we've bet East Carolina a lot this year, and we may go back to the well one more time. I want to get this game at 7. It was at 7.5. It's moved down. I think there's mostly 6.5s out there, but this is East Carolina traveling down to Tulane. Yep, ECU. And I'm looking now, and there is +7 still sitting out there at -115. May have to jump on this because I have this game projected at -3. So that's 4 points of value there. You know I love this ECU team. They're continuously underrated. They've 4-1 ATS this year so far, 2-0 going on the road. But Tulane they're a team that after their quarterback situation was pretty low on, but they've came out of the gate here, and they're sitting at 4-1. They still have a shot to go to the college football playoff. Only loss against Mississippi. Bad loss against Mississippi 2 weeks ago. So we circling East Carolina. I'm reading this one a little bit more, but most likely I would bet this 7 or better. You can get it. Oh, man, what else we got? Thursday night, not much else Thursday night. I mean, La Tech, got them as a big favorite. Lines at 5.5. We have it at 7.5 against Kennesaw State. I don't know about that. Southern Miss is one we were eyeing up as well, 2.5. We have this at 4.5. Sitting at 2. I think it's up to 3.5 now. So I would love to get this under a field goal, possibly even take a money line here. Southern Miss is a team that everyone has been high on, rightfully so, and played all right so far, 3-2, and 3-2 against the spread, going on the road to Georgia Southern. Just I don't know, just don't feel great about this game. Even if I have at 3.5, no, under 3. If I would have got it at the 2.5, probably would have pulled the trigger there. Missed it. Don't even know if I could justify a money line at this point. Looking at maybe -160 in the money line. This is up to, there's a -155 out there. So maybe that's not a bad spot. Going into Friday night, we got some games on Friday night, and there's a good one in the AAC here. North Texas and South Florida. And this game's actually flipped. And flipped kind of a few times either. Number 24 USF goes on the road to North Texas. 5-0 North Texas. Also making a case, especially if they can win this game, for a college football playoff berth. But I have this projected at North Texas -1.5. It's flipped now. I think there's some 1.5s on. There's pick'ems. There's 1.5s. There's 1. But USF is now the favorite. And I mean, the reason I'm staying away from this is just the strength of schedule at this point. We know USF's been through it, already knocking off Boise and Florida. Played a tough one against Miami and routed Charlotte last week. And North Texas, I mean, they beat Washington State pretty bad. Western Michigan took them overtime to beat Army on the road and took care of business last week, covered against Southern Alabama. So I would lean North Texas here, but it's just, like I said, strength of schedule here. I don't know if we hit the peak on South Florida yet, given they had that rough stretch the first 3 games of the year, and then lost to Miami, lost a little momentum, but have bounced back the past 2 weeks. So gonna stay away. I just watch this one and enjoy it. I don't know if this game gets any higher. If this gets up past 2, maybe to 3, I don't think it will. I think it's gonna stay at a pick'em around the 1.5 either way mark. But if it did, we'll eye it up. We'll see. Maybe we'll pounce on a 2.5 on North Texas. And going into the weekend, a couple games that we like that we haven't quite jumped on yet. Oregon, Indiana. This game's dropped from 9.5 down to 7.5 at this point. And to be honest with you, if it does hit 7, I might have to bet Oregon. But at the same time, I'm just, I had this at 7.5. Probably going to be a stay away either way for me. If I would have got the 9.5 closer to 10, I would have been a bet on Indiana. Under 7 or under, if this keeps going down, it's going to be a bet on Oregon. 6.5, definitely going to hit Oregon. But I hate fading Signetti under any circumstances, except when he faces these juggernaut teams, which I think Oregon could be there, but then Penn State blew last week, so it's like, I don't know. 7.5, I have 7.5 on Oregon, so we'll see where this line goes. It's right at the number right now. Utah, Arizona State. This is one I'll probably stay away because I do have the futures on Utah, and I want to see him win this game outright, but this is another number 21 Arizona State going against unranked Utah, and Utah's 5.5-point favorites. And this line's gone up from 2.5 and look ahead 3 open this week at 4.5 up to 5.5. Love Utah here to win this game. Number is a bit high. I have it at 6.5. So if I could have got this at the opener or the look ahead or the opener, 4.5, 2.5, then definitely at 6.5 where it's sitting now at 5.5 would maybe take a 5 if you can find it, but I'm seeing the 6 pop up already. So this will probably end up being a stay away. This is going to be a great game. This is another spot, just like the USC Michigan game, just like Cincinnati, Iowa State last week. Unranked, home favorite against a ranked opponent. There's a reason for that. The numbers say this is Utah's game. I think they're significantly better than Arizona State. Maybe even pounce on a money line here. Money line, that's up over 200. It's already, the lowest is 210. So yeah, I probably missed a boat in the money line too. Oh well. Like Utah to win outright. Have the futures on them, so we're just going to root for them to win this game. Let's take a look at some other spots that we're eyeing up here. Toledo. I wanted Toledo at Bowling Green. This one popped over 10.5. I didn't get the 9.5. Under 10, this is a bet on Toledo. I don't think it's going to come back, but we're going to wait it out. I have this at 12.5 on Toledo. I think it's just, we bet them a few weeks ago. I think this Bowling Green team is a little overrated at this point. Toledo, after that tough loss on the road against Western Michigan, they still want to run the table here and win this conference. So, like Toledo, if this number happens to come back down below 10.5, I see some 11s out here, so may have missed a boat there. But sitting at 10.5, not bad. I have it 12.5, so wouldn't be terrible. I think they win this by a couple touchdowns. Bama, Missouri, another big game this weekend. This was a 4.5 over the weekend. It's down to 3. If you can get the hook, if I can still find a 3.5, there is some minus 118 juiced up 3.5s. But Bama's been on their schedule recently. Off the big win against Georgia and then Vanderbilt. Missouri schedule has not been difficult. They've played pretty much every game so far this year at home. Kansas, Louisiana, South Carolina at home. UMass. So this is going to be their biggest test of the year. Still haven't left the state of Missouri. Not sure if I fully trust this Missouri team, but I think this might be more of a fade of Alabama this week at anything above a field goal. I have this at 3, so 4.5 would have been nice. Not going to bet it at 3. Might bet it at 3.5. We will see. Actually, I have this at 2.5. Yeah, so 3.5. I would still bet this if we can get the hook. I don't know if I want to bet it at minus 118. So we'll see if we get some buyback. Number 8, Alabama against 14, Missouri. And anything else popping up here? Iowa, Wisconsin. Want to bet Iowa 3.5 on the road against Wisconsin. Have this projected at 6. Seems like a pretty good spot, but this line hasn't really gone anywhere. And then moving over to the NFL, some games are eyeing up for this weekend. Washington. I want to pounce on Washington. This is up to 4.5 now. I have this projected at -7 with Jaden Daniels back and healthy, like he proved last week against the Bears at home. This is the rematch off of the Hail Mary game last year. Different teams, but it's still Jaden Daniels versus Caleb Williams. We'll see if we get there. I'm going to do a little more research on this one. It's up to 4.5 now. I would have preferred to got this down at the 3.5 mark, but we'll see where this one goes. Seahawks, they're a dog on the road against Jacksonville off that Monday night win. Seahawks lost a tough one at home against the Bucs. I like the Seahawks here. Haven't bet it yet. Just want to see where this goes. If it goes any higher on Jacksonville, I have this pretty much a pick 'em. Slight edge to Seattle. Vegas against Tennessee, eyeing that one up 4.5. I have it at 5, almost 6, and it's sitting at 4.5. San Francisco against Tampa. Do we fade Baker Mayfield again this week? If you do fade him, I think fading him as a 3-point or more favorite is the spot. I have this at Tampa 1.5. Going to check out the injury situation. Has come down from, well, no, it actually went up from 2.5 to 3. So we'll see where this one goes. Might be an opportunity to buy back here on San Francisco if it gets up to 3.5. Believe it or not, the Dolphins, I still don't think this team is that bad. Chargers are reeling. Chargers have so many injuries. They should not be a 4.5-point favorite here. We give this at 3. Miami's at home. Chargers are hurt, traveling across the country. And once again, another one we might see where this goes. It's juiced up to the 4.5. It hit 5. I don't know if it goes to 5, 5.5, 6. Probably not. I think it comes back down at some point. So we may need to pounce on the 4.5 on Miami. And that sums it. Atlanta's looking okay. Carolina against Dallas. I have it at 1.5. The spread's at 3.5. Do we trust the Panthers? Once again, do we know how good this Cowboys offense is? Could they rout the Panthers again, just like they did the Jets? I don't know. Probably end up being a stay away. And then Falcons off a bye at home against the Bills. Off that loss to the Patriots. I think this is a good spot for Atlanta. Might get them getting to the Falcons here. We have them at 3, sitting at 4.5. So those are some games we're eyeing up in the NFL. And then last but not least, let's talk about the blacklist. These games that we just 100% just want absolutely no part of. In college football, few pretty solid ranked matchups. Ohio State traveling out to Illinois. This one's down to 14.5. I have it right at 14.5. And same thing here. I mean, I don't know how you can fade this Buckeyes team, even on the road against Illinois. And do we know the state of this Illinois team at the moment after getting routed a few weeks ago against Indiana? Is this going to be another one where they play a team who is just out of their stratosphere and get blown out? Or can they put up a fight here and keep this within 2 touchdowns? I don't know. I maybe at the 17-16 mark where it was over the weekend, maybe take this. But yeah, blacklist, not touching Illinois, and not fading this Buckeyes team at any point in the near future. Texas A&M, Florida, man, this is a tricky one. I'm staying away here. I have Texas -10, but Florida off the bye. I know they beat down Texas team who is now unranked, but are they getting healthy? Did they figure things out with Lagway? They have this freshman receiver that is absolutely electric. Texas A&M is always a team that as soon as they get to a point where you're like, yeah, this A&M team, this is a team that's going to take off, make a playoff run. This is when they burn you. So even though my numbers say take Texas A&M, this is a blacklist team. I don't want no part of this Florida team. I don't know which one we're going to get this week. So staying away there. And then some other fun ones, Arkansas, Tennessee. I have this right at the number. Tennessee's a team that just likes to blow teams out. And unless Arkansas can keep this like within a touchdown and just stay within striking distance, like Tennessee is going to pull away. I have it at 12.5. It's sitting right now. I have it at 12, actually. It's sitting right now at 12.5. We missed the 13.5, which showed a little bit of value in Arkansas, but this will be a fun one. Could be a shootout. Could be a blowout. No idea which way this one's going to go. I don't know what Arkansas team we're getting, especially after the firing of Sam Pittman. Is this a bounce back spot? New coach. Get motivated. Go into Tennessee. You know this offense can score points. Both offenses can. We'll find out a few things about both these teams here. And then what other rank, Matt? What Texas Tech, Kansas? Man, I have this one at 13.5. It's sitting at 14.5. Another one, this Texas Tech team is good. Kansas's defense is not good. They could keep pace. This is a backdoor opportunity for Kansas, but I don't know if my numbers are truly showing how good Texas Tech really is. So this game's on the blacklist. Not touching it this weekend. I'm gonna enjoy it. Should be a fun one. It could be a blowout. Kansas may be feisty. We will see, but absolutely staying away from this one. NFL, we already talked about one that we're staying at. Cincinnati, Green Bay, not touching this Bengals team with the quarterback change. I don't know how bad this team is. I don't know if I still have them overrated. Like, why am I showing that they have 3.5 points of value here? Like, how much do I downgrade this team more to get them to the 14.5? I just don't know. Just don't want any part of this. The Packers off a bye. Imagine this is a blowout. Maybe Flacco shows up this weekend and has some old magic, something left in the tank. We will see, but want no part of this game. Then, of course, we know the New York Jets. This one's at 7.5. Broncos out in London facing the Jets. My line says 8.5. The game, this is showing 7.5 is the current spread. So it tells me to take the Broncos, but I don't trust either one of these teams. Broncos off a big win against the Eagles. Jets, we know what they did. But Fields always has that backdoor opportunity. Just not enough here. Not enough here for me to want to back the Broncos as a big favorite overseas. And as much as I want to fade this Jets team, this is probably when they burn me. If I would go the 8.5 from the Broncos, this is the time when Fields would figure it out and have one of those games where he comes out and burns me. But we'll see. Maybe a change of scenery, maybe a change of country will help the Jets out here, but not counting on it. Staying away. And then Colts Cardinals, I don't want any part in this game. I have this 6.5. It's sitting at 6.5. I don't know. Colts will probably end up blowing them out. Still don't know if my numbers are still underrating the Colts or the Cardinals. They've just been an unlucky team, just making stupid mistakes. It's just hard to tell. Just hard to tell with this Cardinals team. I don't know what I'm going to get. So they're on the blacklist, not touching them, even though there's slight edge to the Colts here, or to the Cardinals against the Colts. How this is 6, sitting at 6.5. So last but not least, and I think I'm going to regret this, first of all, if you've listened to the show, you know I'm a Steelers fan, and this pains me to make this my best bet, but it's the best value on the board in the NFL this weekend. So here we go. The main event, the showstopper, NT Sports, best bet of the football weekend.
The main event, the showstopper, no doubter, say it with your chest. Stone Cold Thor's hammer, you will play better the century.
We're going with the Pittsburgh Steelers, -4.5 and -115 against the Cleveland Browns. This one's at home in Pittsburgh at Acrisure Stadium this Sunday. And a couple of things here. One, my numbers have it at almost 6.5, 6.2. So somewhere between 6 and 6.5. This line's already moved up to 5.5 at most books. They see some 5 still sitting out there. And this is a spot bet. One, the numbers show me that Pittsburgh is the better team. They're off the bye week. They're getting healthy, getting some guys back on defense. Like Tomlin off a bye. Like him at home. Don't always like him as a favorite. And Gabriel coming into Pittsburgh. And it's just a terrible spot for Cleveland, man. I mean, flying back from London, having to play the Steelers in Pittsburgh with your rookie quarterback making his second start on the road against a Steelers team off a bye, getting healthy. This is just all bad for Cleveland. This is a rivalry game. We know how this team shows up from time to time, but this is a spot play. It's a numbers play. This is an everything play. And this is the NT Sports best bet of the weekend. Steelers -4.5 at -115. And that wraps it up, folks. Fairly quick pod today. Wanted to record this a little earlier in the week. But once again, feel free, if you're liking the show, provide us some feedback. Connect on socials. I like getting into the thick of things online. I like chatting. I like getting back and forth, talking these games on all the social media platforms. But it's only Tuesday when I'm recording this. I guarantee some of these games that we're circling now, we're probably going to make it to the window on. We only have 3 college football and 1 NFL. We'll probably get 2 or 3 more. We'll follow along there. We'll see what we get by Saturday, Sunday, maybe even a weeknight game. Follow us on the Action Network app. I'll post what we're on X as well at ntsports22. And with that being said, once again, thanks for listening. Good luck this week/weekend. Let's bet smart, cash some tickets, and as always, good bets, good times. Cheers, everybody.
Late night lights screaming on the screen.